books of leaders who have made differences across the world and across history, I have not seen one who benefited out of dishonesty. The second thing is trustworthiness. As a leader, as a parent, as a teacher, as a student, we may say many things, but how do people know you? Yes, there is how you describe yourself, but mtu akiacha kitu kwa darasa yako na aikose, akikuona huwa anafikiria nini? What kind of a brand have you built around yourself? How trustworthy are you? I can also tell you the truth. I am yet to see a billionaire. I am yet to see a millionaire. I am yet to see a successful leader who made it out of being untrustworthy. I have also not seen a bank promoting anyone to become a team leader who has a trait that is contrary to that. There is something else that I want you to always have. Within that one point, responsibility. These things, they look banal, as I said, but they are very critical. When you are late, for example, you work in a bank, there is a branch manager there. You work in a hospital, you already became a doctor from Kahuhia. You are already a lawyer working in a big law firm. When people see you, and especially your boss, your colleagues, your clients, how responsible are you? Wewe ni mtu wa aina gani? Ukiwachiwa kufanya kitu, hiyo kitu watu waangalia after some time, how do they get it? That is point number one. Point number two, which I have seen is important, is something called communication. Nawambia hizi vitu nasema zinakaa easy, but I want you to start practicing them early. When you become a teacher and you need to become a principal, you need to be telling people something. Either it's parents, students, colleagues who are teachers, and the rest. When you are becoming a politician like I am, you have to sell what you are doing. You have to sell yourself also. Keep refining your communication ukiwa hapa Kahuhia. And communication is in many forms. One communication is conversational. When you are relating with people, what do you say? And what you say is based on what actually do you know. So in your field which you choose to excel in, start as early as now, gaining as much information around it, because it's that communication, it is that information that will give you confidence in communication of it. And when you are in high school, there are so many avenues to practice some of these things. If you already don't have a debate club, start one. Tell Mrs. J here, tunataka kuanza debate club, because it's a good field where you can hone your communication skills. They are very useful. Lastly, the point I want to give, have vision and be strategic. Have vision. Let me tell you something about myself, though it's not very good to give examples around yourself. There is a book I authored when I was in second year in Kenyatta University, where I was doing economics. So I authored a book titled How to Succeed in High School. That book, I actually also gave some here. If wenye walikuwa wameenda nazo, we can organize a few more. Now, this is the interesting thing. When I authored that book, I was in second year in KU. I barely knew Kiharu, because I come from a place called Gaturi. Na mtu wa Gaturi akienda kama Nairobi, hata hukuji upande. Unapitiaga Mūrang'A town ukienda. So there are so many people from Kiharu who actually don't know the other half of Kiharu. And I was that kind of a person. Now, when I authored this book, second year, university, hapa nyuma ya kitambu, kuna pahali tunaandikaga about the author. Unaandika mambo mengi, lakini hapa chini, unaweka picha ya muandishi ya hiyo kitambu, na unaandika about that author. So I wrote Ndindi Nyoro is an economic student in Kenyatta University, and some other stories there. But the last sentence of that book then was that And Ndindi Nyoro, who is the author then, many years back as a second year university student, the last sentence about that book that I authored was that, and his future, Kiharu, MP. Now, who am I now standing before you? MP for where? Current or future? So, as early as now when you're in Kahuhia, something that was said by Professor Laban, start already behaving like that doctor you want to become. Usigoje uanze kubehave kama doctor hiyo wakati. As early as now, start carrying yourself around like the professor you want to become very few years after when you leave Kahuhia. And that vision you have about yourself, iandike pahali, so that you can see it many times and often, so that it reminds you that you are not the current you. You are the future that. Na wazazi nikimaliza, and I'm saying I'm being practical. One thing that I'll challenge you parents to be doing. Yes, there is the issue about talking to your child and the rest. But I challenge you, do not give up praying for your children. Na kama kuna mzazi amekuja hapa na anaenda nyumbani, and you have doubts about if prayers you pray for your children work, if you have that doubt, see me as Ndindi Nyoro and know that I am a product of God himself. And the best way that God anafikisha hiyo baraka kwa mtu, saa zingine ni kwa vile tunaomba. What I know for sure ni vile hiyo siku kutaka story mingi, like what every other speaker have said here, all of us are from backgrounds that you could never associate with a person being an MP. Some of us are from a background where even a chief to come from that family was already too much. Some of us are in families where, like myself, we were in secondary school, all of us the same time. My sisters were in Jobe High School. Another one was in college. I was in Form 1. It's where, mukiitwa parade mutu atumwe nyumbani kwa school fees, I knew, unless there was a mistake in the list, I am already there. I mean, nilikuwa tunasikia wanaanza kusoma, I start preparing my mind on how to go home. And therefore I know, ile baraka tunaombea wanafunzi na watoto, Mungu anaisikia, because there are things you cannot do out of your will or out of your ability as a parent. Mtoto akiwa hapa, na wewe uko nyumbani, I mean, there is nothing you can do physically, but there is something God can keep on doing and polishing, the young ladies, and polishing even the other ones who are not in Kahuhia, so that they become a blessing miaka ambayo inakuja. And I know for sure, hawa munaona hapa wazazi, hawa ndio Mungu atatumia kubadilisha taito yenu kama wazazi. Watu wasikuwa wanasema Baba Jerry yule wa Power So. Wakuwa wanasema Baba Jerry yule engineer mkubwa kule KQ. Waache kusema Baba Mary yule ambaye anapeangwa vibarua kwa kijiji, wataanza kusema ni Baba Mary yule professor wa Desta University. And that is the blessing I wish all of us. Nikimaliza, mimi nikisimama hapa naelewa kabisa hii shule ya Kahuhia iko na more people than those from Kiharu, because it's a big school. And because there are also very many people from Kiharu, nitatumia dakika moja tu niwashukuru sana wenye ni wazazi wa Kiharu na wanafunzi wa Kiharu. Wako hapa watu wa Kiharu? Tonyorokie Kiharu. Tonyorokie Kiharu. Ya, nimesikia iko watu wa Kiharu. Hapa Kiharu kuna kazi tunafanya, lakini ya masomo haswa, because hii ingine I don't want to tire you with them. We have around 112 public primary schools here in Kiharu.